Now you listen to me real good. I've told you once, I said it 1,000 times. You get out of those pagan, satanic, religious, Christian churches. Christians do not follow the commandments of the Bible. Christians do what they want to do. They make up their own laws, their own rules, and their own regulations. Come out of her, my people, and come out from among them. And it's real simple and easy to ascertain who are these people you need to come out from. Easy. Number one, if they keep Sunday, that's an automatic sign that you need to not have any fellowship with these commandment-breaking, wicked deceivers and seducers and bewitchers of the truth. Simple. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. How y'all doing, Israel? Can y'all see this? All right, y'all let me see. Isn't this nice, though? Yes. Y'all know that this is booked, right? To be able to go from house to house. Yes. I'm going to be doing this community thing right here. But today we're going to do a little bit of revisionist history. Anybody know what that means? Yes. Revisionist? Yeah, it's a fancy way of putting it. You understand what I mean? But we have to really truly comprehend and understand what the Most High Yah is doing with us. You know, I may be up here leading this and you may see all these communities and everything popping up, but all we're doing is being obedient to all that's come before us, what is written before us. And we're supposed to actually continue the same vein. And when you see Straitway as a whole, you see us as a whole, we're definitely uniquely different than anybody else by a long shot. And the deal is because we are obedient. Are you following? The Bible says if you're good and obedient, if you'll eat the good of the land, right? So we plan on eating the good of the land. I want to eat the good of the land. But we can see in society today, everything's going from bad to worse. We can't miss it. Is that right? Right. I mean, I've been speaking like this for over 20 years. I really truly haven't changed anything except add maybe a few words here, a few words there. The message has still been the same. It's still been the same. So if you was with me 20 years ago, everybody thinking better, and then you look where we are today, you'd be like, wow, what a wise move on. That's because we're serving all wise Yah. Hallelujah. 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 There ain't nobody like Jesus. Glory to the King. Lord. All right. So we're going to go over a little bit of our history. I'm having Sam to read a little bit over here in Nehemiah, the 4th chapter. And we're going to see some of the same similarities that's going on with us today. Myself and Brother Dane was talking last night, and he was letting me in on some of the frustrations that go on with him and Rob had to go up here to some of these little councils and stuff. And something about what you're going to be doing with the land and trying to get in your business and all this other stuff. But this is nothing new. When we first started and stuff, because we live in Redneckville. Everybody know Redneckville, right? Yeah. We live with a bunch of white trash people that don't even know how to be racist. I mean, it's crazy. And because we don't, at one time we don't black people up there in the whole county. And of course, you know, when a black man moved into a white county, we the enemy. If black man moved into a white county, then we cause all the trouble. Black man moved into a white county. If it wasn't for us, then it would never rain. Then we'd never have thunderstorms. We would have tornadoes. And, you know, we'd have fought for everything. Are you following me? But that's what we're going to see in the book, too, even when we're in captivity. When other nations sacked us and stuff, they always try to suppress us, and they always try to keep us down. They always wanted us under their thumb and always answerable to them. But the Most High Yah and His wisdom had plans for us, even after we had left our lands, our tribes, and went into captivity and stuff. He said He would be like little sanctuaries to us, predicated upon obedience, though. Yeah. Predicated upon us doing what He says. It's not written in code. It's not written to where you have to actually try to decipher. It's not encrypted. You can sit there and actually read the book and see exactly what the people did. If you do the exact same thing, then you're going to be blessed. Yeah. Because His word, just like I heard last night, it's still new. It's still the same. It's old, but it's new. Whatever He said back then, He's going to say the same thing today. Yes, sir. And so there's a lot of confusion on it. So anytime we started doing any type of work, anytime where we're building, or we're getting more communities, or trying to make it so that Israelites who are coming out of her coming out from among them to be separate and to have our own cattle, our own lands, our own lifestyle, our own laws and stuff, we can expect that the enemy is always going to have frustration. If somebody's going to come and frustrate the work, they're always going to try to come up with new laws just because you moved here to try to suppress what you do. They're going to come up with ways to say, well, you know, we have new codes. Well, we don't deal with the grandfather law. Well, you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this, can't do that. And of course, when I first got there, and then shortly after, a few years later, Brother Ernie had passed away. And of course, we have a little cemetery right behind my house. And the guy, what's the guy from the funeral place? We call him funeral director, corner, wherever it is. Anyway, so he had his body in the back of the, what that thing called? The hearse. Anyway, so we poured out something. He looked at me and said, so, do you have a permit? I said, a permit? He said, yeah, you need a permit, dude. I said, yeah, look up. What are you going to do? Take the body back? Well, I already got the whole dub. So he just left the body and turned around and went on off. You understand? What are you going to do? Just sit there and let the body ride on top of the ground? You know, I've been playing your laws over stupid stuff. Since when do you need a law to bury somebody? Since when? Think about this. Do we need laws to go fishing? Come on. That's why this is a good idea back here to have this pond. You go ahead and stock it with some prolific fish like bluegill. Let them grow some and then put some bass in there a little bit later. So that they'll have something to eat continually, and you already have a store of food right here. A store of food. Everything's about food. He knows how excited I've been on Patreon, right? I've been posting pictures of everybody, just all these gun bunnies killing deer left and right. That's food. That's good food. Yeah. That's been our main staple of meat ever since we've been on community for the wintertime. We mostly raise our own birds, meat birds, and then we eat the majority of deer throughout the year, and then very rarely, on few occasions, do we have to actually buy any type of steak because we're trying to stay there on the land and with the land and not try to get the same sickness and diseases everybody else does. But it takes a concerted effort. Now, in order to make all this work, we need the same attitude and the same spirit they had back then. And this is what we need amongst us, is oneness. Yes. We have to have oneness. That's right. You know, everybody out there is watching us. Yeah. You can tell they're truly watching us. They're watching the videos, they're watching what we're doing, and they only wish that they could have the type of unity that we have amongst ourselves. They only wish that they could have that with themselves out there. But they can't, because everybody's too busy trying to worry about who's on first, who's going to be on second, I don't know, on third, whatever it is. And it's not about that, because anybody knows, especially men that are head of families, okay? You're a head of family stuff. Man, there's many days you don't even want to be the head, but by divine fiat, guess what? You're the head. You can't turn around and just give it over to nobody else, because that's your job. That's your Waterloo. You have met your Waterloo in life. You're at your Waterloo. So you can't give it over. When you're called to this, there's no discharge. I mean, y'all see that video where Joe Fox retired from being a pastor? Now, can y'all imagine? Can y'all imagine if I made a video one day? Israel, I appreciate y'all. I enjoyed all the times, the good times and the ups and downs of the building and stuff, but I am officially retired today. You know, I probably have 200 Israelite men. They're sitting down there, man, he got a demon. We got to get this spirit out of water, for sure. Because you know there ain't no discharge in this water. Even as us as being Israelites, after we've been called from the unregenerate, after we've been called from the dead, and we come over here to life. There's no discharge in this. You have no options to go back to be a heathen. You shouldn't even want to be a heathen. You shouldn't even aspire to be a heathen again. Especially if you've been alive from the dead. How can you retire from being born again? Is that making sense? There's no way none of us can be retired from being born again. If anything, we should be growing in grace, growing in favor, and growing in knowledge. But there's no retirement, no discharge in this. Are you following me? And from year to year, we should be getting better and better and better. You've been with me 10 years plus, ain't you? Yes, sir. Haven't you seen me grow all these years? If y'all see me go back and look at the archives of some of my videos, y'all even see growth in me. I mean, all of us got to grow up together. Yes. We all have to grow together. And mind you, this work, there's only one that gets the glory for it. The Most High Himself. He's the one that's called us. He's the one that has written our name down in the Lamb Book of Life. He's the one that's predestined us. I don't think I'm wrong. I think that we should give everything to Him. All our soul, mind, being. That's why I work where I do. I work where I do because I want to try to make it hard for somebody to be in the race. Yeah, come on. They win a race? Yes. And the Bible said we should be running to win it, not just to run to finish it. We should be running to win the race. Isn't that right? Yes. And so if Jesus paid it all, how much should we be paying? Oh. Sure, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows, you're going to have valleys, you're going to have all of this. But none of that should keep you from being motivated because you know that you're going to the kingdom. You know you're going to the kingdom. Now, believe it or not, some of us in here ain't going to make it to the kingdom. Just like I say all the time, mostly during feast days, some of you, we ain't going to see you again. And if you go back and look at our history book, you'll see it's in there. Yes. Some people just don't have the zeal. The zeal that should eat them up. And before we go any further, go to Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 3. Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 3, and then we'll get on into the slide right here. So read there, start there.
It says messages unto the same. I'm doing a great work.
Okay, can you turn it up some? Get a little bit more volume. All right, come on.
And I send messages unto them saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down.
Y'all hear that? Yeah. He said he's sending messages unto them saying, I'm doing a great work, I'm doing a good work, and I cannot do what? So, you know, the one thing I have to guard against more than anything are those who are sent by Satan to try to frustrate the advancement of a work. Yeah. There's always distractions. Yeah. All right, follow me? It seems like the people are interested, you know what I mean? Now, you know, I got this debate coming up with Yoki, Baki, right? The servant of Satan, right? The son of Satan. The one who think he God. I got a debate with him coming up, right? And of course, they're trying to push to get it out there real quick, fast, and hurry. But I always told them, it's going to be done on my time. All right, I accepted your challenges, so it's going to be done on my time. Why? Because when you look at all the work that we got going on, I just don't have the luxury or the liberty to just drop what I'm doing for some little stupid, foolish debate that I'm only trying to get just one soul out of, which is fine. I'll do it with one soul. Come on. But if I go do that one debate right there, that's a week's worth of work. A week's worth of work already gone. Even if we just show up for a couple of days, you know, that's it. And then the expense and everything. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it, but it's going to be done in my time. So all that is, again, and I've been on it, is a distraction. Then you got people that want to. What you say when we talked the other day, Mike Israel, you said that. Well, I got a couple of camps. You explain it better than I can.
Well, it's, some Hebrews that they still watch my videos. They've seen the growth with me being here at Straitway, and so they watch Pastor Dowell, and they want Pastor to be on a board of elders. So it's going to be a whole panel of elders speaking on how to move forward in the Hebrew Israelite community.
Did y'all hear that?
Yes.
They want me to be on the board. Okay. How to move forward. And then my question I asked him, how many of them have already done move forward? And so I said to him, okay, you tell them this. That the only way I'm going to show up something like that, ain't going to be no board. It's going to be me talking. And y'all sitting down and listening. And you know the reason why? Because we have fruit that already show. How to move forward and stuff. If they don't have any fruit that lines up with their walk, you ain't got nothing to say. No. See, that's what I'm saying. See, everybody always got something to say. What are you going to tell me? Well, we need to come together. Well, we're already together. All right. You you gonna teach me how to purchase land. You gonna teach me how to get the land secured. You gonna teach me how to keep people together. You gonna teach me how to do communities. Are you out of your mind? Shut up. That's the problem with Israel. And see, what they do is they look at me and they think that this position is some type of grandiose place or something like this, but it's a position of heartache. Yes, it is. Trouble. Yes. It is. Big time. But there's also joys of seeing people getting delivered, getting set free, watching people get the message and coming out and then being, I mean, think about this. If we all wasn't part of Straitway today, can you imagine what we would all still be at? Yes. We'd still be in our own little selfish ways, in our own little selfish thing, probably dead up to the hilt and everything else, and have no fellowship, nothing whatsoever at all. Your family don't want you. The world don't want you. You don't want you. Nobody wants you. But now we have a family here. I said the only other people that could do any other talking are people heads of communities that could actually give more wisdom and stuff. So why should we actually, again, why should I actually go down there and be a part of this family? Be on a board. I don't need no board. I'm bored already. Get it? If you understand me, don't need all that. I mean, and then I told him, I said, all you have to do is go listen to that message. I did up the Hebrews and Negroes conference and stuff. That's on your inception right there. Go watch that and go do it. But we can't do that though. For some reason. All right, but anyway, we're doing a great work. We're doing a good work. And I can't continue to be distracted. We can't continue to be distracted and go come down. We're always going to meet opposition. We're always going to have frustrations of people trying to frustrate the work. It's always going to be here. Some way, shape, fashion, form, but we have to recognize it. Because you know, like me, the first thing we do is when we come up against any type of opposition, we get passionate. And first thing we want to do is we want to resist and fight and everything else. But we have to slow down and realize and know that at any given time when the enemy, the devil, is trying to frustrate it. Because remember, there ain't nothing from external or the outside that's going to do what? Destroy us. What destruction is going to come? It's going to come from within. How does it come from within? Trauma, discord, dissension, betrayal, backbiting, offenses. Y'all hear that? They don't come from without, they come from within. That's what destroys the work. Say they're trying to use the externals. That's just a little fly by the distraction, but he's really looking for inroads to get in. That's right. And he's got to use some human beings, some dumb, stupid Israelite that is so full of themselves. You know, that's the reason why the majority of troubles happen in Israel, right? Because it's all about you. You don't put yourself in nobody else's position. You don't see nobody else but you. You can only feel you. You only understand you. And then when everybody else don't understand you, then everybody else is the problem.
True.
Yes, sir. Still true. So we focus on ourselves.
Yes.
Now, don't the Bible teach us that we ought to have everybody else's well-being? Yes. Put before us. Yes. And then later on, what about me? What about you? Yeah. You're a servant. Right. You never know, sir. Why would you get frustrated being a servant? Oh, hallelujah. See what I mean? Yeah. Focus. Let's go on with Brother Sam. Let's go to verse 5. Now, I always show this all the time. Yes, sir. And the reason why I show this, not because it's some pretty picture, but because, and y'all have to understand this, we are Hebrew. Yes. Y'all get this? Yes, our thoughts should be Hebraic. It should come from a concrete mindset.
Yes.
We were raised in a Eurocentric Western society. So that means even now, we still view things when we see them from an abstract mindset. Even when we pick up our book and we read it, we approach it from an abstract mindset. Are you following? And it's written from an abstract mindset. Are you following? Because that's the way that they view things. And we have been reared in it. We've been taken away from our land, taken away from our people. We've been divided. Are you following? And even still today, you have a black person, where's your homeland? Everybody says, well, we know we're in Israel. But you ask Mama Nelly, where's your homeland? Where's your homeland at, Mama Nelly? Puerto Rico. See what I mean? At least she knows where she can come from. We said we come from America. Are you following me? Has that been our homeland? Ain't been our homeland. Our homeland has been taken away from us, been sacked. So in other words, what nation is going to represent us in our interests if this nation does us wrong? You follow me? Yeah. Ain't nobody going to represent us, and our nation ain't going to represent her either. Anybody else of any other background, they're not going to represent you, especially when you claim to be an Israelite. Right. You only got one that represents you, and that's the reason why that we have to be in His good graces. So everything stems from Him. Everything. Everybody, anytime you start talking about the subject of polygyny, and the first thing they do is they go run to Paul, give him a letter to Timothy and Titus. And the New Testament is no place to make new legislation. Does that make any sense? The law is already for ourselves. Even in the court of law, they don't go back here and try to make up the law when you're in a court to be judged. They go back on what the law is already established and what it says. That's the way it should be. And so everything when you read, it flows from here. No matter what the world says, no matter what you've been influenced by, everything flows from here. So when you read the renewed covenant, you have to read it with this in mind. You can't read it with what they have taught you. Aren't y'all disappointed how foolish and stupid and dumb and ignorant we've all been? Yeah. I mean, did you ever slap yourself when you realize how many times you defied God celebrating Christmas? I mean, did you really, truly get upset? Because you think about it, that's your soul. Does not the book say you should not have known the mighty ones before me? And anytime you're celebrating any of these pagan holidays and these traditions and stuff, you're putting everything before Him. So, I mean, if it never did to test you, you should let it start to test you so you can get your mind changed and start thinking more Hebraic. Then it upsets you that you had your children out chasing colored eggs. Now our children have an opportunity to be free of these fairy tales. To be free of all this stuff that ain't what the Bible says. That's why you think they don't ever give us opposition about having them to be in homeschool. I mean, to be in public school. They don't want our children in public school because our children are going to tear them mess up everything. They're going to tear them mess up because they get like $5,000, I think, a semester, something like that. Every child is in school. They don't want that. So they were rather for us to be set apart. But at the same time, they don't want us to be set apart. So we're going to see this from the book's perspective. So that you can see that there's really nothing new under the sun. All right? All right. Come on, Sam. Y'all know who that is, right? Yes, sir. That's Plato. Plato. There's a reason why we put Plato up there. Go ahead. Plato is the one who defined this Platonic model, where today when you see things confined to words, theories, or ideas, or leading to practical action, that is the abstract mindset. Because, the next slide, not leading to practical action. They don't believe in anything having any practical action to it. In other words, okay, you ever say this, do you believe? Oh yeah, I believe. Okay. Oh, hallelujah, you're saved. Your name is written down in the Lamb's Book of Life. Hallelujah, you confess Jesus here. Do you believe? You believe? Okay, so what is belief? Explain to me what is belief. Now, I can explain to you what belief is. Belief is always associated with right action. But up here, it's just all about if you can mentally affirm and say that you believe what? You understand what I mean? Well, believe Jesus. Okay? You believe him, but if you don't obey him, you don't do his word, you don't believe. So see, the Platonic model is not associated with right action or even doing any action. And that's why there's so many inactive Israelites today. Yes. They're so inactive, that's why you never see any fruit. I mean, you can believe a fruit tree is outside front of his door all day long. Everybody believe it? No. I believe. See, that's what they've done to it. Can you believe it? I believe that there's a fruit tree right here. Do you believe it? Ain't nobody believe it because you didn't see it, did you? And you don't believe it because ain't nobody planted it. But that's the way they have fooled and toyed with us ever since we've been born in this country right here. Fooling around with us. And some of us are still prison. Our minds are still in chains to that type of philosophy and mindset. Because it doesn't lead you to right action. Being in a Platonic model and not having even any right action, be it in moral, in theory, or concept. Read on. Next slide. So, concrete concepts of rebuilding our Hebrew culture. Abstract thinking is a level of thinking about things that is removed from the facts of the here and now. That's removed from the facts. Alright? So, we have, an example, we have 7 appointed times. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And we know that those appointed times are real because we end up doing them.
Yes, sir.
All right, God. Now, our appointed times is written in the book of the law. Is that right? Yes, you can see how people carrying it out. But where do you see written anywhere in the whole of the Bible that it's time for us to celebrate Thanksgiving?
Nowhere.
But yet we come together. Or Christmas.
Nowhere.
All right, follow. Where is any of this? Are you following? Next one. And from specific examples of things or concepts being thought about, abstract thinkers are able to reflect on events and ideas. And they equate, I'm adding all this in there, they equate these events and ideas as reality. Are you following? If you think an idea, they believe that that's proper thought. And in that proper thought, they believe it's proper action. And that's the reason why they're being caught up with an abstract mindset will lead you to destruction because it doesn't lead you to right action. Does this make sense?
It does.
Rick, come on, next one. And an attribute to relationships separate from objects that have those attributes or share those relationships. English-speaking people are trained to learn and to think in the abstract.
That's right.
What is that? That's a foundation. Y'all see that, right?
Yes.
Now this concrete. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So whenever we talk about foundations, now you know what a foundation looks like.
Yes.
For every home that is built here, but then notice this foundation, you see, this is what? Earth.
Yes.
Dirt, right? This is what? And that concrete is made out of what? Rock. Are you following? And of course it has chemical in it, but it's a solid substance. Now, are we not to be able to, or should we not build everything on a solid foundation, on a sure foundation? Does that make sense? Because the building is only going to be as strong as the what? Foundation. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, next one. What's that? Rebar, and what is this? Y'all see that, right? And y'all always hear me say, if you're going to build anything, build with what? Because what was Jerusalem, ancient Jerusalem, built out of? Rock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that right? And this comes from rock, block. Alright? So you build a building with this, it'll be able to withstand more than a natural stick building would be able to. Especially if a storm comes, right?
Yeah.
Next one. What's that? I meant to say that's a man. But that's a man doing what? Now, we can believe God want to give us a bill. You can believe it all day long? Come on, guys. You get it?
Yes.
But God ain't giving you no milk. Y'all will give you the wisdom. Y'all will give you the strength. Y'all will give you everything you need in order to what? Build a building. And guess who still get the glory? Because he told you to do it. Are you following?
Yeah.
The reason why you don't see these camps, anybody else flourishing, because ain't nobody willing to do the work. Nobody's willing to put in the effort. Are y'all listening? commands us. You build the houses.
Yes.
You plant the gardens.
Yes.
Did you hear that? That's what he said. Did he say that?
Yes.
And then he said he will bless the labors of your hands. And then he says you'll be happy.
Yes.
The reason why we're not happy because, you know, when you spend your days doing this, you ain't got time for drama. You don't have time for discord and dissension. You don't have time for all this stuff, these little foxes that come and destroy. So you wonder why all of them out there will never ever get to what we at, because they don't want to put in the work. The reason why I make videos like this is because I'm showing what the Bible teaches, which is leading by what? Example. And it's hard out there. You can see how wet I am. It's really hard out there. I didn't think the video was going to play because he must have got a fancy thing because he can show you a picture on my side. All right, next one. What's that? Y'all see that? Yeah. Isn't that a nice home? Look at this foundation. Isn't that really nice? And those men come down for years. For years. Something, Pastor, I can do that. I said, no, you ain't. Give me the block. I said, no, you ain't. Give me the block. Oh, I can do that. I didn't say he couldn't do it, but he wasn't going to do that. You understand what I mean? Because I have to have him start focusing more on other things. Like, I'll give you an example. When we're building, everybody wants to lay blocks, but nobody wants to tear the sand. Nobody wants to make mud. Nobody wants to bring the materials, but you got to know how to do all that, because what if everybody else ain't there? If you learn it from the ground up, when nobody else is there, guess what? The building still goes. Yeah. See the wisdom? Come on. Nice home. Great. Are you following? All this all makes sense. Next one. Men of Israel, build your house on the rock. Hallelujah. And our foundation, our rock is Christ. Is that right? So when you become a doer of the word, rather than saying he's my rock, you know he's your rock then. Saying it, and after the experience to know it. It gives you a great appreciation for him. When you've been out there laying foundation. And then building your home on the rock. It makes more sense to you about how sure that foundation is. Does that make sense? See, that's preaching that goes on. When you are actually doing what God says. Come on. Remember, our culture and its analogies are always expressed in concrete terms, words, and phrases. Our minds and the way we think must be, what's that word? Transformed. Must be transformed. You may see one way, you may believe it to be one way, but you have got to erase that and force yourself to believe the right way. That makes sense? Come on. We are mentally still in chains today because of the way we talk and process thought. How you approach scriptures will determine your level of faith and power. Faith and power. I have people all the time, all the time come here. Pastor, now what can I do to get more power? I say, do the word. Oh, I'm praying. Okay, when you finish praying, then what? Listen up, what's up? See how simple it is? Do the word. Well, you pray, I pray. You read, I read. Then how is it I got more power? Because I'm pastor now? I've been dealt with measure of grace like anybody else. And on that measure of grace, we all charged to build that measure of grace. Y'all remember these nice parables and talents that the Most High, Yahshua gave us? That's a parable and a talent. He gave one guy 1 talent, another 2, and another 5, and then I often use it and say, well, which one are you? Because everybody likes to say, I'm the 5 talent. But it ain't working. Are you really the 5 talent? He gave you a talent. Talent being born again, and he gives you this wonderful Hebraic mind and stuff. Now for you just to sit there and you soak yourself and immerse yourself with knowledge so you can go out there and beat up on the Gentiles with scriptures. Come on. He gave you that for a reason. He expected an increase on his investment. expecting a yield.
That's right.
Are you following? And you, that's the hardest thing to get people to do in this society right here, because we grow up and do like them. Isn't it crazy how black folks been the builder of this whole country and stuff, and now today we can't build their back? Come on. We built the whole country.
Yeah.
We the ones that can read the blueprints on the architectural designs and stuff. We the ones that knew mathematics, even though it didn't seem like we could even read and write, but we had to in order to build. Now you put some blueprints in front of us, we look at it like, what is that? You see what I mean? Because we don't apply ourselves. So if you're not going to do the work, he can't entrust you with. Because if all you're doing is praying, and all you're doing is fasting, you expect more increase in power, then you won't think it's something that you judge.
Right. All right.
And you want to try to get people to focus on you.
Yes.
Why? Because I fast and I pray.
Wow. Come on, Shabbat.
No, it's real talk. It's real. It's time to talk about this on limitless. We've been going for a long time. All right, there you go.
Come on.
Next. Nehemiah 4. Here we go. Here we go.
But it came to pass that when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall.
Notice, when he heard that we were rebuilding the wall. Come on, because remember, our whole cities there, they've been sacked and destroyed. All right? We're buying these lands. Keep all this in mind. What are we doing? We're building. Isn't that right? They went to the council and they said, well, I've got a 4-foot wall there, so I'll do 6. I do that, and the brothers won't talk about that. Brothers won't talk about that. Come on.
He was wrong, and took great indignation and mocked the Yehudim. And he
Y'all hear
said,
that? Yeah. How many people are still mocking us today? Come on. Let's get this reality check. Here we are, got our mind to build these communities, to build homes, and the Gentiles, including the so-called sold out Yehudims, mocking us more than anybody. Now you know too many people mocking now. You know why? Because they're scared, because their flesh is on the line. Yeah. They wasn't scared earlier. They didn't move with fear earlier when you had the time and opportunity to do it. They weren't fearful then. They're fearful now because now they can see the proverbial handwriting on the wall. Things ain't going the way that they used to be. Read on.
and he spake before his brethren in the army of Samaria and said, what do these feeble Yehudim?
Notice, they call them what? Feeble Yehudim. What do you think the Gentiles look at you like? Huh? Why do you think they say all these disparaging comments with us? Yeah. What do these feeble Yehudim? Come on.
Will they fortify themselves?
Will they do what? And of course the answer is yes. Yeah, we all want to fortify ourselves. And that's what they're afraid of. Notice, why ask the question when they fortify themselves when you're not afraid of them? Fortify themselves. Come on.
Will they sacrifice?
In other words, we're not doing no more animal sacrifice and stuff. Will we bring the sacrifice of praise? Come on. Huh? Will we?
Yeah.
I mean, we always ready to bring a sacrifice anytime. But you ever notice that a lot of them proud Israelite camps, they leaders and stuff, they too proud to praise? You'll never see them praise. You'll never see them praise. How did the wall come down when the Israelites walk around for Jericho? Come on. Huh? We're probably going to see that happen again too one day. But see, one thing, the reason why we need to praise, because we got a lot of laws in us that need to be followed. Watch it, it's good.
Will they make an end in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burned? Now Tobiah the Ammonite was by him, and he said, even that which they build, if a fox go up, he shall even break down their stone wall.
In other words, they don't even know how to build it, so that we get if a fox go up and hit over against it, it'll fall over, it'll tumble. It's amazing how we got a modern James Earl Jones be reading. That voice, and he don't even try, he just talks like him all the time. Come on.
Hear, O Yahweh Elohim.
Now notice, Whenever the enemies and everybody was devising plans to come against us, mocking us and everything else, notice what our people did. First thing they did was go straight to Yah. Come on. Straight to Yah. Read.
For we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their own head.
Are we not despised? Yes. And their prayer was what? Turn their reproach upon their own head. Whatever they meant to do against us, let it be under them. Come on. Now what the Christians will say, well, we're now in the New Testament, so you're supposed to pray for your enemies now. I am praying for enemies. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're despised. Yes. Whatever they meant to do against us, let it be done under them. I'm praying for my enemies. Come on. That's right. See, y'all see the series where I started out with thinking? Yes. Come on.
And give them for a prey in the land of captivity, and cover not their iniquity.
Now watch this. Why are they asking them, don't cover their iniquity, don't do anything? You know the reason why? Because they have already had their strength taken away from them. They already are living in somebody else's land. Their land is now under the rule of somebody else. Do we not find ourselves in the same position? Yes, sir. We can't just be going out here taking our guns and our ARs and just mowing down all the Gentiles, can we? No. So we got to do what? Pray. When we're in captivity. Does that make sense? Yes, and then let God do the fighting of the battle of that. Now, if they decide to come over and trespass, want to do evil and stuff, and then we pray that the Most High Y'all make our aim true. Does that make sense? Come on.
And let not their sin be blotted out from before thee.
Now listen, this is, you know what he's saying, right? In other words, don't even let them be forgiven. Why? For coming against your people. Mocking and jeering us as we're doing the work. Read on.
For they have provoked thee to anger before the builders. So built we the wall, and all the walls joined together to the half thereof. For the people had a mind to work.
You know we're gonna stand up for a second. You know we're gonna stand up for a second, right? You know why? Because they knew what they were doing. It had fruit to it. So the people had a mind to work. Some of you ain't got no mind to work. You got a mind to ghost. You got a mind to have excuses. You got a mind to be offended. You got a mind to kick traces. You got a mind to drag down. You got a mind not to show off. You got a mind not to do anything. But you expect everything. But over here, these people had a mind to work. You think? You think their mind was transformed? You think their mind was renewed? They had a mind to work. That's good. They were praying, but they were working. That's right. Y'all hear that? Blessed are the hearers, but the doers. That's the toughest thing in the world with an Israelite. We live in a world of benefits. Entitlements. Why work? Why are you not going to be blessed? Come on.
But it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were made up, and that the breaches began to be stopped, then they were very wroth.
Woo! So we can expect that anybody seeing us doing in the building, they're not going to be rejoicing for us. They're going to get angry and upset. Y'all live up here. In somewhere in Indiana at an undisclosed location. And these people don't love y'all. Y'all mind your own business. These people hate y'all. You would have thought, man, especially y'all beloved toast players. Oh, man, we got raw Baptist, man, gridiron icon, man. Everybody love him. Yeah, Phil. They don't love him because he's on the side. They don't want to line draw. They don't love you because you love Messiah. That's facts. Look, am I telling the truth, y'all? Are y'all not hating up here? What did you do to receive that hate? Let me detour here for a second. Come on. There are some rednecks up here. Kept driving out the front gate and doing all kinds of stuff, right? You remember how the story was, right? Can you come up here and explain what went on? Yes, sir. I want y'all to listen real close.
I got a random message from somebody I don't even know. They sent me a message, got it about 3 o'clock in the morning on Messenger, and sent me a link to somebody else's page talking about how it's a black militia here.
You hear that?
All of a sudden, and we walking around the land with ARs, which is false, but if we wanted to, we can because it's our land. Then I started reading these comments, and these folks talking about they're gonna come over here and give us good haircuts. We're gonna go over there and leave no witnesses. We're gonna drive trucks through the gates and tear down and shoot up and all type of stuff. When we first came here,
Y'all hear that?
no reason.
Then I told you to report it to the sheriff, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Keep going.
So we reported to the sheriff. The next thing you know, he said, I'm getting a whole lot of calls from men that are associated with your church. I said, yeah. He said, they seem to be very upset because Pastor put it out there and said, look.
I called the sheriff's department. He didn't answer, so I left him a message on his personal answering service.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And what ended up happening is he got calls from everybody because he knew at the drop of a dime that this town would be flooded with Israelites before they blink. And they piped it down real quick.
Because my message didn't tell me. I said, look, if y'all get y'all head out your ass up, I'll bring 300 armed Israelites up there. And we'll take care of the situation our own damn self.
That's right.
And then he told you that your pastor seemed like he was what?
He said, your pastor seems to really love you guys and really care about you guys. I said, yeah, because we family. At the end of the day,
Y'all say it seemed like I was upset. No, I'm upset, all right. You get it? Thank you very much. But see, sometimes you have to think and say, okay, is this where my time's going to end at? But you have to be willing to go to it. If you understand what I mean. You got to ask yourself, make a calculator, is this where my time's going to end at? You follow me? Because a lot of people talk about being family. But they ain't really family.
that's all fact.
When I hear stuff like that, because I've experienced it down there, you understand what I mean? When I hear stuff like that, I take it to heart. Because you can't go threaten a public official. You can't go threaten the sheriff or anybody else in town. And if you threaten a white person over here, that take you serious as that. There are 5, 6 cops out here. Oh, FBI, everybody else out here. Because of this. Calling your skin. But if you get threatened, oh, it's made light up, nobody says nothing. Are you following me? I'm trying to show all of us that I'm not just here just wording and talking words. We have a right to life, liberty, and a pursuit of property.
That's right.
It used to be happiness. Property. When you get property, that's what makes you happy. Are you following me? And so they got to understand, we're going to stay in our lane. But if somebody come in our lane and get out of their lane, we're going to take care of what's in our lane. And it's more than just words. Are you following me? So I'm willing to chalk up. Good. I've had 55 successful years. If I have to go out this way and defending and protecting my family, so be it. In other words, mine is made up. Like you got a mind to work, you better have your mind made up as this. Remember, you don't go out and start nothing with nobody. You don't start any trouble with anybody. So when the trouble comes, you don't run from it either. Is that not the same? The same God that wrote the Torah? Is he the same yesterday, today, and forever? Is he not? I tell you, you're not going to see King David burning in hell for all the people here to kill. Christianity got you thinking that you're going to go to hell if you kill somebody. God is righteous. So defend yourself. Till people don't like talk like that because it emboldens people. It opens up their mind and their conscience. All right, read on.
And conspired all of them together to come and to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it.
Hear that? So these people that was hindering the work, they talk amongst themselves and amongst everybody else in these providences where they do conspire against the work. Read.
Nevertheless, we made our prayer unto our Yah, and set a watch against them day and night because of them. And Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decaying, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. And our adversary said, they shall not know, neither see, till we come in the midst among them, and slay them, and cause the work to cease.
So you see what they're doing? They always are devising a plan to slay the work, to stop the work. But we had set up sentries. We set up guards and stuff to make sure, that nobody would be able to come in. We stick with the story, right? But what makes you think that the same thing is not going on today? These people don't favor you in any way, shape, fashion, form, because there's something different about you. You're not your typical American. You are a born again Israelite, and then those that are in darkness, they see the light and they know the light and they recognize it. You need to recognize the light that is inside of you, which is Yahshua. All right, follow me? And they that are in darkness, they hate the light that is inside of you. That's why they always want to be motivated to frustrate the work, to stop the work, to do whatever they can to get people to ally with them, to come on their side, to speak evil and to bring more curses. Why? You have to be on the cutting edge of spiritual warfare daily. And if people are already not speaking favorably of you, then what they're doing? They're cursing you. They're bringing curses upon you. So here you are, you wake up in the morning, you go about your day, you do your little prayer and stuff, and you didn't return any curses up. Next thing you know, through the middle of the day, so you start feeling bad out of nowhere, and you don't even know why. Probably because somebody else spoke some evil upon you, and you've done nothing about it. So, be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, walks about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Roaring lion makes noise. Lions don't roar when they eat. Lions don't roar when they're getting ready to kill a prey. They don't want to compromise you of their position. Lions roar after they're full. See the analogies? Come on.
And it came to pass that when the Yehudi which dwelt by them came, they said unto us 10 times, From all places which ye shall return unto us, they will be upon you. Therefore said I in the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places, I even set the people after their families with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles, to the rulers, to the rest of the people, Be ye not afraid of them. Remember Yah, which is great and terrible.
Y'all hear that? Yes. Don't be a what? Afraid of them, but remember Yah. And also remember Yah who made your hands to walk. That's right. But remember Him. Yes. Don't be afraid of Him. That's the only thing He ain't trying to get you to do is get you to be afraid of Him. So He can stop the work. Now, we're still going to stick with the work. We're going to go spiritual a little bit, right? Alright? What are the enemies that are working inside of you? That's got you afraid and got you immobile that you don't even do the work. What are the enemies? Well, how is the enemy disarming you in your mind to the point he makes you non-responsive because now you don't have your hand to do the work? Because a lot of times it's not that you're physically disabled. You're physically able, but here you're disabled. And until you get this right, you can't get this right. Because this is going to perform the way this performs. Yes, sir. So you got to have your mind ready. What enemies do you have frustrating the work up here? How is the enemy mocking you by saying that if I put a fox up there and hit against the wall, it'll fall? What you got? What foxes does he send? The little foxes destroy the vine. What fox did you send? I mean, what is he using? Because there's a lot of mind stuff going on here that make people non-responsive, hindering the work. Because I'm looking at a bunch of physically able-bodied people in here. So what reason? Why? These people have mind to work. Mind to work. So they have nothing to distract them then in their minds. They have nothing to disarm them in their minds. They have nothing that could give them all types of excuses to frustrate the work and become an enemy of the work themselves. Mind. The work. Again, are we able? Yes, sir. Yeah, we're physically able, but what if you're physically able, but your mind ain't shit? Okay, we're going to get back on the book now. Okay? We're going to get back on the book now. Read.
Remember Yahweh, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren.
And fight for your what? Brethren. And fight for your what? Brethren. And do what for your brethren? Fight.
For your brethren. your sons and your daughters,
And from your sons and your what? Daughters. Come on.
your wives and your houses.
Y'all hear that?
Yes.
In other words, we got a lot to fight for.
Yes.
Do we got a lot to fight for?
Yes.
We got a lot to fight for.
Yes.
Brother, fight for brother.
Yes.
Your sons.
Yes.
Your daughters.
Yes.
Your wives. Your houses. You got a lot to fight for.
Yes.
Now let's go back spiritual. Why'd you fight? Huh? Why'd you fight? Why'd you fight?
Yes.
Oh, we read it quick, fast, in a hurry. We read it. Why'd we fight? Why are we so weak? Now, right here. Why are we so weak, man? Oh, we finished all men. I've been through that. Why'd you fight me? And then all of that, anytime you gonna pick up the phone and say, Pastor, need some help, I'm thinking it's going to the bill. So one time, this past year, summer night, was it last year or this year?
Last year.
Last year. Alright, so now we was at the community down in Georgia. The other community in Georgia. Alright? And I said, we're gonna go up here to Greenville, we're gonna go look at the house. Pick up the phone, call her office, we'll be there in an hour. So the first time out there, she seen it on video. Oh, look at that. Ooh, this is big. Ooh, hey. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, son? You know, preliminaries. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, mm-hmm. So what you doing right here? Or what you ain't doing? Why ain't this done? Huh? Isn't that something? Alright, come on, son, get in the truck, we go. How long I stay out there?
About 15 minutes.
Wow. Just enough to walk around, no fellowship, no nothing. Mind you, this is before all this went down. What am I doing? What am I doing? Just go look at the building. I can see the building just by a picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing? I'm requiring an account of his stewardship without saying anything.
Yep.
Because that office won't be for Israelites.
That's right.
Not just that office, it won't be for Israelites.
Right.
He had asked me, I had so much trust in him, he says, Pastor, he says, if you don't mind, can I put this home in the name of my mother-in-law or whatever? I said, I don't care what you do with it. Why? Because you're Israel.
Yes.
Hell, rules now going by that. I see you putting your name. The rules are, you ain't sack me with that liability. You put your name. All like that. Fuck out there, the other you are. Am I telling the truth? So what I do about it? Go out there, a little rant rate and stuff like that. You know what I did? You know what I've done with about it, right? That's why my hands up. Because if I try to interfere with what y'all gonna do, Are you listening to me? Then he gonna look and see, oh, I see, you already got got visions played out and everything, brother. Oh, I said, no. See, I've been doing this long enough. I just leave it alone and let God take care of that. Now, he's doing a more thorough job than what I did. But Pastor, now you put all these $1,000, all this time, energy, and effort. Man, I got to get up my hands. I hate mosquitoes, man. Good God. It was hot down in South Carolina. We've been, I mean, hot. Hot. You look at some of the videos, man, I look like a black and East. Good. God mercy, it was so hot down there. Myself, brother, and go down there and we were just build. Build because we're doing for Israel.
Yeah.
See, so the thing I gotta make sure, now we're on the other end of the spectrum right here. Have to guard his buildings.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Have to make sure I'm not offended.
Yep.
Have to release them and let them go. Are you following? You understand what I mean? So he think he know more. We'll see. We'll see. No, it ain't gonna be good at all. It's not gonna end well at all. Because one thing you don't do is fool around. Now let me see, the book says, touch not my heart. Do my promise no harm. Whether you believe it or not, be, but I'll tell you, we'll see, don't we? Yes. I've been having people call for my demise. I've been dying every year.
Yes.
This time I had somebody actually say, thus saith God. I said, good, I'll record this video. I said, as soon as that asshole, as soon as November the 13th or 12th, 13th come next year, I'll come looking for your ass. Because what we should be doing in our culture, we should be killing your ass. Yep. Then you'll fall right. Elder Rufus just talk to him. Elder, come on up here and tell him, y'all got to see this. I can't help it, but hey, I'm sorry I'm not your traditional Christian preacher. Listen to this.
This is funny because it started with, I saw this female. Remember, it started with this female. And I don't even know how this stuff got to her. Maybe Mama Josh or somebody. But she called herself to be some type of prophetess, speaking all this stuff against Straitway, Pastor Dowell, leadership, all this. Now, the funny thing about all of it was, she didn't name no sin.
Nothing.
So
Didn't tell me my sin.
what's I saying? What we do? So I don't have the tact that Pastor Dowell has. I don't have it. Not at all. So when I responded to it, I went talking about the girl, talking about her nasty house, all this kind of stuff. I went all in, right? And so she did another video. And this one was in her car, so she didn't want nobody to see what was going on. So then finally, the guy, because she would always start off by saying the name of their ministry and then who it was and all this kind of crap. So he finally does send a direct video to me. I said, Pastor, it was short. And he did say, thus saith Yahweh. So we like, cool. And he was saying that, death is going to hit his home, my home, all the leadership's home, everybody. Just cursing all of us. So we marked the date last there. And once I responded to it, saying, all right, cool. You done put your little prophecy out there. Since we following this book, once your prophecy don't come true, on this date a year from now, will you stop preaching? Will you take everything down and shut it all down? He got off of it, and then he took the video off. I downloaded the video. It's not there. I went to look, it's not there. When I downloaded it, pulled it up, it was there. After I responded to everything, he went back and took the video totally away. So I don't have that no more. Now I still got the video that skid mark. I got that video. I got that. But that's how I went down. That's how I went down.
Isn't that amazing? So I downloaded the video to my desktop. I hope he tell me where he live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I got a nice baseball bat with me. You think he will? Nah, people something else. It's something amazing. But he did say, thus saith. Well, I guess y'all repented then, didn't you? Crazy, isn't it? What is that? just another distraction to try to frustrate work. So God never be talking much about it at all, have he? But he's definitely my radar. Because one of us, either gonna be dead this year, or that's a false prophet, that should be dead. Now I can't go kill him. Maybe I can ask y'all to do some favors. He done plenty of him. Had him not curse me, literally cursed me. Then he went to Florida. You know what happened to him? Yeah, he says, you're a false preacher. He said, and y'all's gonna get you. I said, really? I said, well, I think you're a false brother and y'all gonna get you. And he said, oh yeah? He said, no, you're a false preacher. I said, we'll see. Y'all gonna get you. As I promised you will. Watch and see. Next thing you know, I got a report he got beat in a parking lot with a tire iron. Had all his teeth knocked out. Down in Florida. The car said, boy, what's the chances of that?
Car got jacked too.
Car got jacked and beat with a tire iron. I was like, man, y'all getting the water. Good job. Nobody would equate that as the problem. Then why would that even come up on? Let's get back. Come on.
For the builders, everyone had his sword girded by his side.
Y'all hear that? Everyone had his sword girded by his side. Come on.
And so built it. And he that sounded the trumpet was by me.
Hear that?
And I said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large, and we are separated upon the wall, one far from another. In what place thereof ye hear the sound of the trumpet, resort ye thither unto us, our Yah shall fight for us. So we labored in the work, and half of them held the spears from the rising of the morning till the stars appeared. Likewise, at the same time said I unto the people, let every one with his servant lodge within Jerusalem. Then in the night they may be a guard to us, and labor on the day. So neither I, nor my brethren, nor my servants, nor the men of the guard which followed me, none of us put off our clothes, saving every one put them off for washing.
In other words, they slept ready. They stayed ready. Are you following me? What a good mindset. Wouldn't it be nice if we had that systemic all the way across the wall? Don't we have a great work going on? Look what's happening now. Work's really taking off. We just got another community, 60-something acres. Brother Sean and them, they moved all the way from Arizona to Tennessee. Brother Chris Paul up in the other community up in Straitway, Kentucky. He turned around, we moved Zach Dowell there. Zach Dowell taking care of the store that he has so he could get freed up and actually go run the dozer for the communities. Because he's the best. The dozer work we got on the communities. And he spent 4 days down there on that dozer. 4 days away from his family, 4 days away from the community, making all types of sacrifices just in order to get Israel started. Now they wait, Pastor Dowell, when you coming? I said, brother, I promise you I'm going to come. I'm going to try to get there before mid-December. Okay, I'm going to try to. But I will try to get there. So I'm going to make time to get there. Because what he want me to do is give some advice on what way should I place this home and this home, or do this and that. Same thing you do. What do you think you do? And I said, man, you'll see the Most High will lead you, but you need to do this here, you need to do that there. Oh, okay, good. You're very minimum. And actually, I do very minimum command and tell people what to do once they're on land, because the Most High, you're going to see he'll lead you. Sure. But if you ask, I'm more than happy to oblige. You understand what I mean? So, and then we got another. Brother Will, they've got another community. I think he got 20. How many acres they got? 20-something acres of land up there, already being developed. I mean, community popped up all over. Just bought 20 acres of land down in Alabama. Just got finished buying a very nice, it's already got a home on it. Only need to put about what, maybe $15,000? Something like that. To the home. It's already got a home on it. And we just bought a really nice, what size is that trailer? 28 by 76. And plus we're going to scope out another area to put another home here. That's some people that moved all the way from California and Washington State. And we're moving at breakneck speed to make sure we get this community up and going, trying to get it up before Passover. Isn't that nice?
Yes, sir.
To be able to get people free outside world, and then the brothers can dwell together in unity. Then the families, our families go to feast days stuff. I already got Sister Esther and Brother Steve trying to make a covenant already with his Kyle. They said, hey, our daughter, I want to make a covenant with this guy. We're good people. I said, man, I got to think about this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm good people because he going to marry somebody in Israel. He married a heathen. Got to marry somebody, a good family in Israel. Now you people all schizophrenic and on roller coaster, you're mentally defective and carrying on and stuff. That's real. I want to be able to go home and sit down in the house and have some peace, man. You know what I mean? Enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that nice that people are thinking like that already? We must rather have them be married in Israel than outside of Israel. We should know that brings the fear of God. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So he may have 2 wives right there already. Sorority sisters. A lot of laws and all, only if they had laws with each other. Now we no longer. I speak to them no longer. All right, come on, next slide. Ezekiel 28, 25, 26. Are y'all learning anything? Y'all out? No, sir. Y'all too hot? You need to be cooled off or something? You're still paying attention? Are you here? Yeah, you may be here, but are you here? Come on, go ahead, Brother Simon.
Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, when I shall gather the house of Israel from the people among whom they are scattered.
Did y'all hear that? Is he not doing that? Gathering the house of Israel among the people when they are scattered.
Yes.
Read.
And shall be sanctified in them.
You see that? Shall be set apart within them.
In the sight of the heathen.
In the sight of who?
The heathen.
Everything that we do, he's doing it all right in the sight of the heathen. Y'all gotta understand it. We are literally with God's program. Come on.
Then shall they dwell in their land that I have given to my servant Jacob.
Hear that? Come on.
And they shall dwell safely therein.
We should do what?
Dwell safely therein.
Don't y'all feel safe?
Yeah.
Come on.
And shall build houses.
And do what?
Build houses.
Now the construction company do.
Build houses.
And they shall build houses. Come on.
And plant vineyards.
And they do what?
Plant vineyards.
He wants that wine. Hallelujah. Come on.
Yea, they shall dwell with confidence.
Dwell with what?
Confidence.
Y'all sisters walk around on them confident.
Come on.
Do you, Chris? Walk around confident. They're nice. Isn't that nice? Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Come on.
When I have executed judgments upon all those that despise them round about.
So anybody that despises us, y'all gonna do what? Execute judgment against them. Come on. Read.
They shall know that I am Yahweh their Elohim.
Oh, they don't know. They know it now. Why are people, instead of being happy for us, why are they so fearful of us? You think they're fearful of us? They're literally scared of us. And we don't bother nobody. They're scared of the Yah. He Yah. Read. Go to the next one. Jeremiah 29, verse 4 through 7. Come on.
Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, unto all them that are carried away captive, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses, and dwell in them.
Do what? Build your houses, do what?
Dwell in them. And plant gardens.
Y'all see where I get this from?
Yeah.
The house I live in, I built it. Now we'll give it to somebody else. Brother Scott getting ready to have another baby, and his wife and Angelica running around like this, and we got to get busy.
Yeah.
But we got some enemies trying to frustrate the work because they want to deliver our form for form laws. So I told him, I said, I got a date in my mind. The forms ain't here. I'm starting. You know, I'm not going to wait. You know what I mean? I'm with the work is going forward. We got to get busy. You tell them you want your $65,000 back.
Right.
And we're going to spend on some more building material.
Right.
Hallelujah. See, and that's why I often mock people and stuff, because it is true. It's the blessing of the Lord, rich. And no sorrow. It ain't nice to know. I mean, come on. We're not going to be living on this earth in this present state for eternity. We're here to occupy. Is that right? Until we come. But until then, we have to have something for ourselves and our children's children. So build a nice, simple home where you can be content in and stuff, and build some more, and buy more lands and build some more, and buy more lands and build some more. Isn't that beautiful? You know that every home that you build, pay for the day that you open up the door and give whoever resident to you. That's the blessing of the Lord. It's rich and add sorrow. Isn't that beautiful? What's wrong with that? Read.
And plant gardens.
Plant what?
Gardens.
It's too hot outside.
Plant gardens.
It's too hot outside.
Plant gardens.
Too many bugs.
Plant gardens.
Mosquito bit me.
Plant gardens.
I'm sweating.
Plant gardens.
Come on.
And eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives, and beget sons and daughters. And take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there and not diminished.
May what?
Increase.
Now watch this. Suppose, man, wouldn't it have been nice if I would have put this in my mind when I was 18 years old? Why would we be at these? And what if I had all the resources then? Woo! What would we be at? Man, what would we be at? Man, I could have had 50 children. It's nice holding, man. It's nice holding little children. Them little babies come out, you go. Your seed
Yes.
can enjoy an inheritance in the land.
Hallelujah.
Read.
And not diminished, and seek the peace of the city, whither I have caused you to be carried away.
Yeah, you seek the peace, but you ain't gonna beg for the peace. Come on.
And pray unto Yahweh for it, for in the peace thereof ye shall have peace.
Hear that?
Yes.
It is beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Read. Go to the next one. Verse 28.
But therefore he has sent us unto Babylon, saying, this captivity is long.
This captivity is what?
Long.
Has it not been long?
Yes.
Come on.
Build ye houses.
Do what?
Build ye
So
houses.
even though you in captivity, it's still saying the same thing, but build you up. Now wait a minute. The law and the prophets. Isn't that right? Not one jot of tittle is gonna fail. Come on. Till all be fulfilled. Right? Come on.
And dwell in them, and plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them.
Next slide. Man, we're doing some rethinking. Y'all see this right here? We will still be building the kingdom. Don't y'all think when we get to the kingdom, though, we're going to be running around singing Kumbaya all day long? Come on. And just going on each other's place and carrying on and just tiptoeing through the tulips and stuff. And say, I got a news flash for you. You can't work right now, here and now. You ain't going to the kingdom to be able to work either.
Come on, Chef.
Read.
For behold, I create a new heaven and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever.
Be you what?
Glad and rejoice
Now
forever.
let's stop here for a second. Let's hone in on this. What can stop you from being glad? Don't y'all sisters envy the relationship that y'all see those brothers have? Come on, tell the truth. Don't y'all envy it? Don't y'all long for that type of relationship? Huh? Don't y'all do it? Don't y'all long for it? Huh? But y'all can't have it because y'all fooling yourself.
True.
Victory. Me, myself, and I. Focus on me. All right. You ain't never in all your life ever seen a group of men worshiping. Last night, last night, Lions Den. You don't never know when some praise gonna break out with us either. It's like it's always on the cutting edge. Come on, like on the floor. He in that cage just waiting to be Glad. Glad enough. One reason why our brother and we have peace with each other because we actually deal with each other.
Yes.
Say that shit.
There we do. No, brother. No, come here, bro. We need to have a talk. Y'all don't have to talk with somebody else about the person you're supposed to be dealing with.
Yes.
Jesus said, you have an all with your brother, generic norm, substitute. Go to him and him alone. And we're going to defy that and think we're going to work God's righteousness by going around it. Y'all learn how to do that, and y'all will become closer. Got an issue, got trouble with your brother and sister, you believe, perceived it, real or not. Communicate. And then if somebody's coming to communicate, listen in love, not to be offended. How you accusing me? Always this fight. So much for fervent charity, huh? Amongst Israel, so much for love, huh? Am I telling the truth, brother? That we're not dealing with each other? We're going to get it now. We're going to have some talks. Why? We have to, because we got to keep the devil away from us. That's just a good revelation. Read.
Be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more then an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them.
Man, now this is in the kingdom. This is the kingdom. What in the world? So think about this. If you're not doing this now, you think he's going to let you in his kingdom? This thing goes beyond, well beyond us.
Yeah.
See, your performance now is going to determine what your position and place is going to be in the kingdom. He ain't changed. It's just that in the kingdom we won't get tired. In the kingdom won't be no mosquitoes. In the kingdom it won't be this damn third below zero weather. But y'all get this? You got to get this now. You have to prepare yourself now. Because if you're not, look, again, he talks to us as sons and daughters, children of inheritance. If you're going to be children of inheritance, you're going to be under tutors. You're going to be under governors until the time appointed. When the time appointed, then the authority, then the headship is released to you. So, but if you're not under tutors and governors and authorities to be able to learn how to perform as an Israelite, now you can forget it in the year to come. And are we not children?
Yes.
Come on.
They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another keep. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people. And mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble. For they are the seed of the blessed of Yahweh.
Because they are the seed of the what? Blessed of Yahweh. Oh, man. You know what? I just had something come to my mind. Maybe that's the reason why people don't really truly labor in this vineyard like this, because they don't know if they're the seed of the blessed of Yahweh. When you know you are the seed, you perform like it. It's not even a question. When you know you great, you act like you great. You know you good, you walk like you good. You have confidence.
That's right. That's right.
Ain't that right? Sister wife, when you know your value is good, ain't no woman can cause you to be jealous. You know your goods and your values is right. My wares is good. Read.
And their offspring with them.
Is that not beautiful? Next one. 9 is the hardest part, transforming the line of captivity. Come on. Man, TTIU, I'm coming from the scripture verse, 7:24. Therefore, everyone who hear these words of mine. We're not talking about you being able to hear the noise or the voice or the inflection. He's not talking about that. Everybody hears that. Everybody does. He said, everyone that hears the words of mine, Yahshua said, and does them. One more time. And does them. Notice, when you hear and does them, shall be like a wise man. So you're just not wise just from hearing. There's something in conjunction. Hear them and does them shall be a wise man who built his house on a rock. Now the house is just an analogy, a concrete analogy. Because a house consists of the husband, the wife, the children. There's everything on the inside of it in order to make a successful home.
Yes.
But if you're going to be wise, you're going to get to this part. Doing it. Come on. And the rains came and did what? And the floods came and the winds blew and beat on that what? House. And it did not fall. So we have a natural analogy of a house, right?
Yes, sir.
During our own home, sometimes the rains come.
Yes, right.
The floods come.
Yes, sir.
The winds come.
Yes.
Don't they do it? Don't they?
Yeah.
And it's all for a purpose to test to see how strong it is, to see if it's going to fall.
Yes, sir.
But if it's built upon a rock, if it's built upon the side, it ain't never fall. Come on. Because that house is a solid foundation. And it's built on that rock, and that rock is the side. Boy, it was founded on the rock. Next one. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them. All that default come from. Shall be like a what? Foolish. Is any of y'all know any foolish people?
Yes.
Y'all is foolish. Even amongst us at Straitway, we got some foolish ass people amongst us. We do. I let them know about it too. Not because I'm trying to pick on them, I'm trying to help save them. You understand what I mean? You foolish, your ass foolish. Why ain't you like everybody else get with the program on one mind? Why do you think you're going to lose a part of you? If you don't have the same, well, I can't do that because then I no longer be able to think for myself. You already told what to think on these things. Anytime you start thinking, things get messed up. How many times have you thought, come on, and it wasn't in the same vein, in the same mind as everybody else, and all it was destruction and damage? Boy, we talking that. Think we talking.
Yes, sir.
Israel. Isn't that amazing? Israel. So, you hear these words of mine, Yahshua said, and does not do them, shall be like a foolish man who built his house on sand. You ever try to put something on sand? See how it does? Read the next one. And the rain came. And the floods came. And the winds blew. And they beat on that house. And That was his old song. Can you stand the rain? The storm may rise. Sing that. Hey! Everybody that's here. Tell me, baby. Say, come on, man. Stand. Woo! Stand the rain. Go ahead. So we're using the concrete analogy of a house, but it's really about your individual home, your individual house.
Tell the truth.
You know, in Israel, we'll get a little personal here, okay? Come on, shit. One problem that we have, a great problem we have in Israel, that we have not learned from the other nations, which is, wise in this aspect. Too often, too many times, more often than not, our perspective and point of view of each other is very low. We diminish each other. We speak evil about each other. We take all the contrasts. It's the same way that the world has everything against us. We even echo the same sentiments upon our own self. Give me an example. If a white man go have an affair, he has a mystery. So a black man go have an affair, he's a damn dog, piece of shit, ain't worth nothing. See the contrast? Bill Gates just got finished getting divorced, right? You know about the divorce, but it ain't all aired out all over the world, is it? But what happens with us is something else. See what I mean? Showing you how steep the devil is in it. See what I mean? Even in a fall, we don't even know how to pick each other up.
That's true.
Are you following? Even when somebody else falls, we forget that could be you one day.
True.
And we don't approach that person to see where their heart is with compassion. To try to restore.
Yeah.
We're trying to go in. See, the truth is, the white man, he teaches his daughter how to be married. The white woman prepares them for marriage. I'm not saying everybody.
Right.
But when you go look at the statistics, go and look at statistics and see how many black people are divorced. Black families over white families. Everything is stacked up against us. And we're our own worst enemy. Our own worst enemy. There used to be a time that mama would always stay in the fight with the man, no matter what. Even if Papa was a rolling stone. Today, throw in a tie. Tear up the family home. Take a man away from his seed. We're talking about as Israelites now. We're not talking about as being jacklegs and all this other stuff that we used to be. We're talking about right now putting forth the effort.
Yes.
Putting forth the foot and striving to enter in. We still have to deal with this insanity and chaos in the home. Because we still have this low point of view, this low perspective, low view of ourselves. And we got to rise way above that. We got to. Because if not, the destruction is going to continue to keep on going. That's why you see a lot of homes, they're not built on rocks today, they're built on sand. It's easy to destroy because there's no foundation. Women didn't have that flight spirit. And anytime something came, their answer was to kick traces and run.
True.
They weren't built that way. They were built to be a keeper of the home.
Yes.
See, today, the way they view women, if you are a submissive woman, they look at you as a woman that is low base, you don't have no mind, you ain't successful. But that ain't what the book says. The book says that the woman ought to be the chase keeper at home. The book says, shall the guide the house, love her husband, love her children, guide the house. Isn't that right? So everything that the world will tell you, you accept this, accept what God says. And Satan knowing that the woman is a weaker vessel, always gonna go there first.
Yeah.
Always gonna go there first. You should know he's coming.
Yeah, right.
I had a sister that I was talking to, and she said, Pastor, I just gotta tell you, my husband, he just ain't the man of the home he should be. I said, really? She said, yeah. I said, you have a house? Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You protected? Oh yeah. You provided for him? Oh yeah. Why ain't he the man that he should be? I said, let me butt in, because he ain't doing what you want him to. Let me just go and butt in. Ain't that right? How about instead of you trying to make him what you want him to be, how about you conform to him? The same way that I have to conform to him.
Hallelujah.
So that way your home will be made sure it's on a solid foundation. It's built on a rock and not on sand. I mean, after all, the book even says, even if your husband don't even meet the conditions and meet the mark, you'll chase conversation. In other words, you're so wise to tear it down, I'm going to be wise about building him up. Huh? Want to be wise about building it up, and every night. Because the Bible says a foolish man plucks down the house, or it says a foolish woman. Oh, okay, I just don't want to know. So that's the reason I always put emphasis on that, because Satan always used the weaker vessel. You think he done stopped with Eve?
No.
He ain't stopped with Eve. Adam's still just as stupid as he was yesterday and today. And Adam still doing it. Hi, Adam. You just got to know who you are and what the potential is.
Yes.
We still in the same position, same place. So we've got to reverse the reverse psychology that's been against us. It's contrary to us. And we have got to rise up above what society has taught us, what your own home training and family has taught you. You got to be better than that, because you have to put yourself in a position so you can teach your children the right way. So they don't succumb to all this foolishness, this frivolities, this low baseness. We're kings, princes, queens, and we should be acting like it. We should be living like it. Does that make sense? Because either one thing or the other. Your house is either built on a rock or it's built on sand. If it's built on the solid foundation of the Messiah, I don't care what storm comes, the house is going to stay. That's right. I don't care how much the wind blows, the house is going to stay. I don't care if a flood comes underneath the sins, the house is still going to stay. So what matters what destruction may try to come or whatever challenges may be, because the house is built on a rock, built on the foundations of Messiah, be it internal or external, nothing is going to move that home. That's the way we should have our minds, centered and focused. Come on, Sam. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend. And where is he going to gather them from? Out of his kingdom. I'm in the message here is going to say, a lot of people want a king. Everybody want a king, but everybody ain't staying. Oh, he's going to send forth his angels, get all things out of his kingdom that offend, and to them which do iniquity. And iniquity is lawlessness, right? Remember we did a teaching in Jeremiah 33? But look at this iniquity right here. Iniquity. How much iniquity do you, instead of focusing on everybody else, how much iniquity do you have in you? Instead of being mad and upset at everybody else's iniquity, what about your own? When we going to work on that? Because remember, if we all in the kingdom and stuff, he's not going to sit up there and give you a banner or a golden star or a check of righteousness because of all the reproving and rebuking and correction you did to get everybody else right. He's going to do it because if you offend and you do iniquity, you the one are going to be reading on and gnashing of teeth. And the Most High Yah gives us these messages to help deliver us from ourselves. To make sure that it's ever before our conscience. That we don't succumb to this and continue to keep being low base minded. Y'all understand Israel? He actually came so we could succeed. But we have to constantly be warned, because if we don't put out the warning, we don't blow the shofar, then the devil's going to sit there, be in the midst of us, and continue to keep frustrating and destroying the world. So we sit and listen to a message like this and instead of acknowledging the truth. You see, even the approach is different. I mean, what do you think if you're going to get, if you pick up the Bible and you're offended at a brother and sister, what do you think you're going to get out of it? Exactly what your offended spirit wants. But if you approach it a little bit different, you look through it with different lenses, good clear lenses, and look at it from the deceitfulness of your own heart, then it'll minister to you.
That's fact.
You know what I'm saying? Going to the book and look to see how you're going to get everybody else right. You better start working on yourself, because he's going to remove all things out of his kingdom that offend and them which commit iniquity. Focus on them. Meaning focus on you. Individual. Stop focusing on selfishness. I feel. I already know you feel. You know. I know the heart knows its own business. I feel. Don't you care about how your brother and sister feel? Man, you know how much harmony we could have amongst ourselves if we could just do this? Then we would be blessed. And the foundation would be solid. And it would be sure. And it won't be moved. Come on. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun, and the kingdom of their Father, who have ears, who have ears to hear. Let him hear. Go ahead. Oh, we're on the last one. Now come on. Luke 6, verse 46 and 49. Y'all getting anything out of this? Y'all know all throughout the renewed covenant. What we're doing here, right here, this is exactly the way God intended for the assembly to be. It is intended for it to be these big old $5,000-$10,000 churches. I mean, 5,000 member churches and stuff like this with Joel Osteen having the Lear jets and carry on flying on over. I could take one of them. You know how much land I could buy with one of them jets? Y'all in home we could build with one of them jets. TD Jakes. TD Snakes. You seen this house? I mean, man, I wouldn't mind having a house like that in the kingdom. I don't need one like that now. Are you following? That thing is huge. And guess what? I wonder if he sold that house, how many saints he could get free. Sitting right there in the congregation. See, there are shepherds that the prophets have warned us about that feed themselves and not the flock of Yahweh. I'm telling you right now, my mind is constantly. The elders will tell you all the time, we always talking about Israel. I'm working diligently to try to get as many Israelites as free as possible. We sure could get it done a whole lot faster if the people have a mind to work.
Yes.
If they have a mind to work. Or if they have a mind to work. We got people coming to the ministry like you wouldn't believe. Got a family down there in Mississippi right now. Part of the ministry. Got Mr. Elder Rufus. Elder Rufus called me, hey, Pastor, how you doing? I'm doing what you got, Elder. Pastor, got something for you. What is it? Got a family, got $400,000, say you want to lay it at your feet. I said, hold on. Nope. No. Tell them to make sure that they fellowship with the saints down there in Mississippi. Let's see how they do for a while. Let's see if they a good fit as good Israelites. And then we'll move on from there.
That's good.
We'll move on from there. You hear that? Y'all hear that? That's what woo! 400,000 miles, they work 400,000 headaches. I'm not saying that they're headaches. I'm saying, but 1 Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things and do what? That which is good. Don't you right? So amen. I mean, I gotta be proven. You gotta be proven. They gotta be tested. We gotta be tested. We gotta make sure because believe me, nobody coming with that kind of money is playing games. What they're doing is saying, I trust you. And you got $5 trying to hold on to.
It's not true.
You got $5 trying to hold on to.
Oh, man.
Huh? And them brothers out there from California turned around and gave $380,000. Here you go. Trust me. Then turned around and sold a home and gave another $380,000. And you got $100 and you struggle.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, man.
Look out!
Yeah.
I'm a pretty good steward of money. I know how to do with money and stuff. I've been saving money for years, right? I probably done gave out $200,000 this year. Gave it.
Yes.
Gave it to who? I didn't get any. Come on. Wow. This is y'all's pot. Right? Keep telling y'all, man, we're not here to make you turn. This is y'all's pot.
Right.
And y'all gonna say, see, I see the big picture. If somebody turn around and do this, and they give you that right there, y'all sitting there just like this.
There you go, right? That's it.
That's what he's doing. And you know what he sees? Buying land, buying houses, buying building material, buying equipment, getting it done. Why? Because they, without us, could not be made perfect.
Right.
We can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You cannot do it alone. Why do you think the brethren always so eager to come up here and get the work done? Huh? Y'all seen it this year. You'll see Straitway communities and brethren from all over. We'll be at Straitway, Kentucky, Straitway, Georgia, Straitway, Tennessee, Straitway Goshen. You're going to keep on saying it too. Because y'all want to get the work done, don't worry about it. We'll drive hundreds of miles to come help you get it done. I ain't saying y'all don't want to get it because y'all are obviously are workers. But it sure would be nice if y'all have some people that have a mind to work. You know, a mind to work. Mind to work. Look, Straitway Florida up here. They already in the mix, just doing everything. Every time they go somewhere, they working and blessing.
Facts.
Brother Tony and all them, man, they be getting it done. Mike Williams be getting it done. Everywhere they go. And the Most High gonna bless them for it too. Got communities up here in Clarkville. Brother Ron and Brother Steve just came to, hey, Pastor, I want to talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you on Sabbath because you say you don't want to do counseling. My God, I'm glad I thought of that. I just had a thought come to mind. You know what? I'm getting ready to how many of you heads of communities and elders, how many times you've counseled people on a thing more than once and they still ain't heard?
Jesus.
How many times? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. How many times you sisters counsel sisters on something and you done revisit that thing again and again and it still ain't working? They ain't listening. Look at this. You know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start having everybody charge y'all $100 an hour. I bet you won't come to counseling that much. Look at them. What's that? They ain't no one in the book that said we can't charge you for counseling. Because you think about this foolishness for a second. You gotta tell somebody the same thing 2 or 3 times. Listen, you're eating up that counselor's time. You're draining their energy.
Yes.
They could be someone doing something productive for the kingdom. And they're wasting hours listening to you who ain't gonna do nothing. Who ain't gonna change. This stuff needs to be non-negotiable. $100. Book a session. I bet that foolishness will stop. How much foolishness you think it'll stop it? I guarantee you stop. Anytime you got money, teeth in the game, it'll stop that foolishness. I guarantee you, then we can take that $100 and put it right back in the kingdom and say, thank you for helping us buy a cinder box. At least we didn't waste our time. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Think about it.
I'm with you.
Come on. Owls get eaten up every day. Listen to people who ain't got the mind even to change. So anyway, Brother Ron, Brother Ron said, hey, brother, I said, Brother Ron, remember I told you about everybody in the community, make sure you got some fans, right? So I'm getting fans. Got fans. I got a whole bunch of fans. We got fans everywhere. Bunch of them. Brother Ron and Brother Steve came over the house. Hey, Pastor, how you doing? Get on, don't go fine. Get on. Don't try to do it. He said, hey, we got an idea, I already know what it is. Yeah, what I'm gonna do. Well, we got $150,000 in this house. We got like $120,000 in this house. We'll combine it, and we think about all moving on together in one community. I said, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I said, well, only one problem, which ain't a problem at all. We don't know who's gonna be the leader. They said, you don't care. I said, I know you don't. I know the reason why you're here. But whoever y'all says it, that's what we're gonna do. We'll roll with that. You put the wrong person in leadership. I didn't say them, I'm just using in general. Put the wrong person in leadership. And people gotta remember this. If people are brand new in leadership, you gotta afford them the mercy and grace as well, because they're growing too.
Yes.
I mean, I made mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, but I also made a lot of righteous choices and decisions too. You understand what I mean? Oh yeah, but it's amazing how we are just totally intolerant when leadership fails. But when you fail, we pat you on the back, we encourage you, say, oh, pray, you know what I mean? And we don't put oppression on you, we don't judge you, we don't put our mouth on you and carry on. But when I fell, boy, the sun just came out of the sky. The earth is off its sphere. I mean, it's crazy. It's to the zenith. What hypocrites. Is that not hypocrisy to the highest? Y'all want me to go back to the sea? So this is how we can talk to a straightway all the time. But this is what's going to perfect us. Hallelujah. Come on with it.
The one call you master.
How many people do that? Don't you call me master? What time is it anyway? It feels like I've been up there about an hour. 2 hours? Yeah. Oh no, I'm getting done with this. Come on.
And do not the things which I say.
So why you call me master, and you don't do the things you say? Watch this. Not only just physically the things you say, he told you don't be a word of iniquity. He did. He tell you to stop being offensive. They did. He tell you to stop exalting all this foolishness and stuff. Stop all the drama. Stop all the discord. Stop all of the contention and the dissension. Join together in the same mind, same spirit. You can get a whole lot done. You know, I tell people all the time, I can get a whole lot more done with just 3 righteous brothers that's got a right heart and good intent than I can with 50 brothers who just want to be contentious. They just want to be there and show up. Won't be there to show up because, well, I'm getting offended. I ain't got time for all this offended shit. Some of you brothers are more feminine than women. So damn sensitive. Ooh, shit. No, serious. You got some sensitive ass brothers. That's an effeminate spirit. And if you check out the book, an effeminate person ain't going into the kingdom. Right? Y'all hear me? Yes, sir. Get that crap out of you. Deer stand will do you good. You won't believe how that deer stand ministers. You be out there cold, and then all of a sudden all these thoughts start coming. The deer's a distraction. It's meat, but it's a distraction. That's why a lot of us don't want to go to that deer stand. The war starts. See, if you ain't never been in a deer stand, you don't know. You never been in hunting, you don't know. You ever try to be in a house alone by yourself? Dangerous thing, isn't it? And mind you, ain't nobody in there, but you want everybody around that danger. You're not here. Listen, whatever you want for your brother or your sister, you want it for yourself, you should want it for them.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
We got to stop this low-based stuff. We have to rise above this. We're children of the kingdom. Y'all follow me? We're literally children of the kingdom. There's some good families, good homes in here. Really good families, good homes. We have to keep them strong and not destroy them. Sammy, what's taking you so long reading this, bro? Come on, bro.
Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my saying,
Boy, he's big on his hearing stuff. Hear my sayings, come on.
and doeth them,
And do it.
I will show you to whom he is like. He's like a man which built a house and digs deep.
Digs what?
Deep.
That's why I went to this one, because when this man builds a house, he digs what? Deep. He wants this foundation really sure. Come on.
And laid the foundation on a rock. When the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon the house, and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth.
That's why I keep saying on this council stuff, how many times we counsel people and you tell them what to do and they don't do it? So you're likened unto the person that's got this foundation on the earth. Come on.
Against which the stream did beat vehemently.
Somebody tried to tell me, I had a brother, he got offended. He got really offended and mad. Because I would let him build class on the land, but I wouldn't let him build a cob house on the land. I said, that house ain't no good. I said, I'm sure good insulated, good, and all this other stuff like this. I said, that house ain't no damn good. That house gonna fall quick. Why? Because it's only built on earth. It ain't built on a rock. There ain't no foundation there. He want me to look at the house and forget about the principles of God. Did y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
So he trying to sell me, oh, it's this and this and that. Brother, I don't get that. I'm sure it is. Still, when we go back to the book, there is no foundation. It's not on a rock. It's on top of the ground. You can't improve on the side, man. He's the word of God. That's the word of God talking to us. God himself. Come on.
And immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great.
Y'all hear that? We say all this today because not because we want you to fall, but sometimes you can't see yourself. Sometimes you have to have the word sitting in front of you in order to see yourself. And it can't be you talking the word. It has to be somebody in front of you telling you what that word says. So that the Holy Spirit can deal with you right where you are at. Come on, Sarah. What's that? Keep going. Read.
So shall ye divide this land unto you according to the tribes of Israel.
Keep going. You gotta keep doing that.
And it shall come to pass that ye shall divide it by lot for an inheritance unto you, and to the strangers that sojourn among you.
Now watch this. Notice, when we have land, it's going to be divided, right? Y'all know, remember you talking about the analogy of homes or something like that? And it's just not restricted to that. Like, well, it depends on where we're in, but it's still a tribe. It's all our land. It's a tribe, you follow me? So we have to wise up and get out of this individuality stuff.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
Which shall begat children among you. And they shall be unto you as born in the country among the children of Israel. They shall have inheritance with you among the tribes of Israel. And it shall come to pass that in what tribe the stranger sojourneth, there shall ye give him his inheritance, saith Yahweh Elohim.
Beautiful. I hope y'all really truly take things to heart. I mean, take it to heart. I'm talking about take it to heart, having a heart to want to be transformed. Why? Because this is a pretty deep word. This is a good word right here. one thing you should take away from this, notice that the house just ain't going to just appear.
No.
He tells you to build.
Yes, sir.
He tells you to build. I have a lot of people that want to live on communities, and we get the place prepared, but people are not prepared for the place. I already said it. And we truly are building towards that end. We really truly are. I'm hoping to acquire some more land to have another community back in Tennessee. Then you got to find somebody who's going to run that. You understand what I mean? Got to get, because y'all got to get free. You got to get free. Israel's got to get free. Isn't it nice that you don't have to go out there and put all this money in this bunch of foolishness and stuff like this? You can actually put it into helping Israel get built.
Yes.
And then when you look at all these little ones around here, man, just think, they don't have to labor and toil the way we do, but we do have to teach them wisdom.
Yes.
And we have to make sure that on this land that they're working. I always said to my son, I said, listen, I don't know, never know. The Bible says, train them up when they're young, when they get old. I don't know how old that is. Won't depart from the faith, but I will tell you this. As long as you're out here, as long as you're with me, I'm going to work your ass after death so that I don't have to worry about you providing for yourself, even if you choose to get out there into the world. Does that make sense? So at least put a work ethic in there. At least put a work ethic in there. If you can't have no work ethic, you ain't got one. If you got a complaining ethic, guess what they're going to do? Complain. You got a murmuring ethic, guess what they're going to do? But if they're around brothers with positive influence, then they're more likely to turn out that way unless they get around a bad seed. So y'all also guard when people come to the community and the children, you can discern a bad seeds. You don't want them around the children. You separate them, get them, no. Y'all don't. You keep them over there until I get a clearance that things are changing. Because you don't want children to be whispering another. I mean, we had lesbians, former lesbians come into the ministry and stuff, and then going, next thing you know, she's supposed to be a sister, and turned out a sister and made her a lesbian. What kind of crap is that? That's a devil, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't care what the Supreme Court of the United States is, that ain't what we do, that ain't what God says. Then just down here, and these damn misfits down in Memphis, Elder Rufus told his daughter, for Zion, he said, yeah, told her dad, what's her dad's name?
Brother John.
John. Told John! You, John! Told John, you better get that virgin daughter on the Straitway. Are you following me? Why? Virgins are just different. They just different. They have a purities about them. They don't have all that fighting, back talking stuff. And if they do, they can get reproved quick. And then not continue to keep on fighting. And they still women now. But get them up there. Get her up there so she can learn how to be a woman. But God didn't do it. What's the other guy name? Martwan. He got like 5 babies. Is that right? 4 babies, but how many? 1 woman or 2? 2 women. They try to do his community thing and stuff, but he ain't with them and the children. And the next thing you know, he goes and he sleeps with this and lays with his virgin daughter. And we supposed to, well, I just, what he say? I just said, what? You know, took this dang woman's virginity. And then the dad's so damn stupid, dumbass, he don't even know how to mourn the situation. Because he's interested in her mother. In his mother. I'm like, look at this shit. This sounds like some damn nigga trash shit. That don't sound like the way Israelites do stuff. So he ain't got no sense to get upset, so I get upset. Boy, how hard was I when you bought that information to me? I had to tell her, I had to actually get off the phone. I was burning. You talking to, didn't you? Elder Rufus tried to reach them. He said, brother, I want you to read this passage right here. And then you get back with me. I called Elder Rufus. Did he read it? Pastor.
He hadn't read it.
He hadn't read it. I said, you got to be, are you serious? He ain't even trying to learn. I said, well, so much that's kind of value you put on a young, naive virgin, did it? Don't even care about even know what the scripture says to see what motivation that was. And we supposed to just take this with a smile?
No. Not at all.
And the woman that he thinking about want to get married to, her foolish ass, she's supposed to be there to watch the dog. She goes to sleep and leaves her and him in the damn living room. I told her, I'll tell you what, I'm about done with Memphis ass. I asked Elder Rufus, I said, one question I asked you. Can you tell her about that question I asked?
He asked me,
Talk loud, Elder.
he asked me, can you give me one positive report that ever came in from the Memphis Assembly?
Just one. Just one. Years of dealing with these people, I asked just for one positive report. I don't even know if they're damn Israelites now. I don't, because when I see there's so much iniquity and lawlessness and everything coming out there, I don't see not one piece of fruit. Now we won't be past it. So it's a labor, even trying to just keep people righteous and trying to strive for righteousness. I mean, she complicit. She ain't crying out. Had an opportunity of a lifetime, been deflowered, and squandered her virginity. And then the dumbass father don't even have means to even more of this. He don't even know what the book says. He don't more time than I do. You got a $20,000 iniquity price to pay. You don't pay that, don't even come back to Straitway no more. That's how you do that. It's sad, isn't it? So you wonder why we always trying to run a tight ship, because we're trying to keep righteousness. Righteousness do what? It exalts a nation, but sin is a what? A reproach to any people.
Right.
And we have to say this, bring up stuff like this, because hey, you want to go ahead and foolishly do it out in the open, so we're going to go ahead and put you out in the open then. What disturbs me is, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I'm saying, that's bad. When you that damn blind, you know, is that the problem with us today? A lot of times we doing shit and don't see nothing wrong with it. So y'all pray for us. That most of y'all continue to keep giving us up. Anyway, hallelujah. Hope y'all enjoyed today's message.
Hallelujah. One thing that we talk about often here is these messages. This is one time I didn't have my notepad here. These messages, they always cut. They always cut. They always find a place to cut you.
Yes.
Always find one spot there like, oh. But the good thing is, if we help and we realize is that we are on the side of the king. So we have an answer. And it first starts with us humbling ourselves.
Yes.
The cutting didn't happen in no direction after that. Literally gave you the answer to the test. So you got to sit down and take the test.
Yes.
So let's just keep getting better, man, together. There's no other way. We know there's no other way. It's out there. There's a way out there. That we know where that leads. Let's keep doing this, and let's keep doing this together and do it strong and in confidence. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let the words of my mouth, meditation of my heart, acceptable in your sight. God, my strength, my redeemer. Hallelujah. Bless you.
Uh-oh, look at him looking.